Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we are out here in a section of the garden that I refer to as the ramp bed, and we're actually going to be transplanting some irises. So I call this area the ramp bed because it is located right next to a ramp that we use to help get things into the house easier. Echo Pup's working on hunting something over by the burn pit. So it's really not the best time to be transplanting these irises. It's right before they're about to send up shoots to bloom. So I think I'm getting to these ones early enough. I actually have one that's blooming on the property already, but these ones are a different variety. I planted these I think 2 years ago and they're getting big quick. This one in the third position from the left, there's 4 clusters here. And this one is a different color than the other 3. So I believe that's the one, I remember correctly. So I'm going to be pulling that one out and relocating it on the property. And then this one I'm going to split off and replace it. So they're all 4 the same color and they can fill in like that a little bit better. So the 3 I'm keeping in the bed have more of a brighter purple and white coloring to them. And the one I'm relocating has a darker burgundy and yellow, more funeral color to it. And I don't want that next to the pond. So I'm going to be relocating that to a different corner and keeping the nice bright color right next to the pond. It's trying to be a nice day outside right now, but it's kind of windy and it's blowing some cold air with it. The cold frame's nice and full, some lettuce and radishes ready to harvest. And I just got the pump cleaned out for the waterfall, so it is up and running to full flow again. We got a lot of yellow going on as well. We have the creeping Jenny that I have clustered around the pond, trying to get it to fill in a lot of the cracks and crevices. So I'm trying to spread it out as it keeps growing and giving me extra parts. I'll probably dig out that section there and fill it in different cracks of the rocks. We also have the yellow tulips right behind it looking good. Puppy! You're being loud, bud. Dark clouds keep blowing over, but I don't think we're going to be getting any rain tonight. Maybe tomorrow. What do you have going on over here, puppy? What is trapped in there that you're trying to get out? I don't see anything, pup. Better not be a snake. Don't be hurting my hostas in here, Boyle. What are you listening for? What? That's the whole stone, puppy. No, don't even look at that big one. I have a gorgeous purple iris out here on the island garden that's opening up right now and pushing a bunch of new buds as well. See, look how gloomy that sky looks. But I doubt we get any rain. I'm going to try and get it out intact the best I can without damaging any of the roots, but this is pretty hard soil, so I'm probably going to have to tear a little bit. It's been dry. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to use a spade shovel. Now I do have calla lilies in here somewhere. If we take some with me, that's not going to be a problem. Should have brought the wheelbarrow over though. Now this one's going to be a little different. Puppy, can I do this myself? Back up. Alright, so this one's going to be a little different because I'm only taking part of it. So I'm just going to spade down in here right where they start turning down. Instead of coming straight up, they're coming out as an angle. So I'm just going to spade down in there right between those. Yeah, I think we got a few of them. Lost a few. So they're not very deeply rooted, so I just needed to get maybe 4 inches. I'm going to put this in the other hole. Hey bud. Alright, since I took out such a big root ball here, I am going to have to bring down soil to replace that, to fill in around that one. And yeah, puppy there too. Puppy's pointing out that we're going to need to fill in some soil over here too. So I'm going to go grab the wheelbarrow and some topsoil. It feels so good to have these switched out before they start blooming. Hopefully this one will still bloom this year, and hopefully I picked the right one in the sequence so that all these ones are the same color and all these ones are the other color. I have a bucket full of pond water here. I'm just going to soak it all in, make sure the soil is nice and settled and there's no air pockets, and they should be good to go for this season. So this year for this bed, I'll be filling up this empty front with annuals. I do have a hosta right here and a hosta back there. That one's gonna stay, but these 2 smaller hostas I want to pull out of here. They're just not where they should be in this arrangement, and I need to find a specimen plant to put back there in the corner yet. I'm also going to be taking the same stone I built a pond with and putting it around this garden bed. I think that's just going to tie it in a lot nicer and be a lot nicer looking than these 4x4s that we have in there now. So this big bunch of iris actually broke off into 3 larger bunches and then 2 of these singles that I'll probably just give away. But I'll be moving these into the landscape. I just have to figure out where they're going first. So we ended up down here in the vegetable garden, and what I have here along the squash mound is a few trees, and I have 3 gaps in between those trees and 3 balls of irises. So I think this might work just fine. So I already have some irises down here flanking this Royal Empress, and I don't actually remember which color they are. I think I have both colors in there. So counting the Royal Empress, I want to put some in the gaps, and one's going to go right here, and then I'll have a honey locust right beside the wheelbarrow. And then over here I have a autumn blaze red maple that's going to be coming out because the deer ate it and now it's rejuvenating, and I already have its replacement right here. So between that honey locust and this autumn blaze is going to go one, and then between the gap and where I have the swamp white oak, I'll be putting another one right here. And when they're all blooming, they should look nice and uniform going down this row of trees. My parents just got home with our RV, so I'm gonna have to help them park, and then I'll try and get these irises planted. Get your ball, bring. Get your ball, bring. That's not the one I meant, that one's flat. And I'm back, and it's actually the next morning where we got a lot of frost going on the ground. So I'm actually out here just to wash the frost off the onions that I planted. If you don't cover your plants, if you get out early enough before the sun hits them, you can rinse the frost right off of them, and that way the sunlight doesn't burn the plant whenever it starts to melt the ice crystals off of it. So you don't always have to cover some of your cold hardy plants. You can just rinse them off right before the sun gets to them. So that's what I'm doing here with my onions. I might even hit a couple of my bell hyacinths here just to make sure that these flower buds that are all ready to open still can open. Yeah, we got a little cold last night. I did get my dad's help and we covered the red azalea out front, and as well as the nectarine tree in the food forest to try and save the fruit from the nectarine and the flowers on the azalea. All I did was use a towel to cover up the irises that I didn't get planted. You always want to take every cover off in the morning before the sun hits it so it doesn't turn soggy underneath. It's hard to tell, but after my parents got home and we got them all parked, I did get the mowing done, at least some of it. The mower ended up dying. I think it's the fuel filter, so we're gonna have to get that changed out before I can finish the mowing, but I think we're supposed to get rain tonight or tomorrow, so I might be leaving the grass get a little bit longer. I'm just taking my morning walk and I'm checking on everything around the property, make sure nothing's damaged from the frost. I'm gonna get the animals out, then I have to check the greenhouse and go to work. When I get home today, we're gonna get back started planting those irises. I'm also trying to water all my berry plants and fruit trees to get the ice crystals off the leaves before the sun hits them, just in case they started producing flowers or fruit yet. So luckily we had a perfect fit cover for the nectarine tree in the greenhouse already, so we got this covered up. I am planning on pruning this back to a more manageable size though for next year. What are you doing? I love it when the grass is freshly cut, and even with a frost on it, it looks gorgeous out here. Got the yard edge too, which just helps. Oh, we got a barn swallow in the patio. Life. Alright, so we got all the plants uncovered and all the plants that I wanted to defrost. I got them all watered off. Got all the wild birds fed, got all my birds fed and my goats, and now it's time to check the greenhouse on all the plants. Hey plants, how you doing? Well, it's still warm in here and everything's looking happy and healthy. I did do a little bit of work in here up potting some tomatoes and getting them into cups, but I'm just going to come in here and mist everything down so it can get ready for the new day. Have a little bit of evaporation to take on before it starts drying out today. Just mist everything down, check for anything that needs watered. Some more germination coming up in here with some flowers. And I did fill up the stack of 4 trays that I have to be sown out. I got the half a tray portulaca done, still got to do the other half. And then I can sow out these 4 whenever I find the time. No pumpkins popping up yet. And turn the fan up, turn the heat off, crack the door open. It's gonna be 55 today and decently sunny, so I should be able to keep the heat off, keep the fan running. The windows will pop open if it gets a little warm in there, and that should keep it nice and toasty until it warms up today. Since I have the automatic windows, I can keep it closed up a little bit while I go to work, and then once I get home from work in the afternoon, the windows will be open and I can open the door the rest of the way to cool it down. If it was getting up above 70 degrees today, then I would have to open the door all the way and just let the greenhouse warm up with the day. Good boy. That's my morning. I'll bring you back after work. Well, I'm home from work and I need to take care of a little something before I go back to planting those irises. What are you two doing? What happened? Did you guys find yourself on the way out, huh? Get back in there. No, stay in. Alright, let me close this up before the other ones get out. Alright, buddy, where are you? Of course you're underneath here. You always go underneath. Oh, you little puffball. No, I'm coming, buddy. Oh, come on. Oh, you're quick. Yeah, come on, bud. Take this easy on me. Oh, where are you going? Oh, you're trapped. Oh, nope, nope, you're trapped. I got you. Come here. Oh, there we go. There we go, bud. There we go. Hey, Pop. Alright, get a drink. Well, I think they're all in there now. I'm not going to actually count all 31 because it's a little compact in there at the moment. Puppy, you missed all the action, buddy. You were chasing a rabbit and we had 2 chicken escapes. I just need to get them through one more night of frost before I can get them moved out of this small brooder into the bigger brooder. Oh, I got 2 of the iris clumps planted. Now I am fighting to get this autumn blaze red maple pulled out of this center spot where I want to put the last bunch. But it's about 4 years or 5 years in the ground here, and this root system's giving me some trouble. Well, the shovel's starting to bend and I'm not getting this root ball out. I think it has a tap root going straight down. I cut all the roots going around a circle, but I think there's a root right underneath the root ball where I just can't get that one cut. So I'm gonna try and pull it out, but I might need heavier equipment. Well, that's definitely not what I was going for. So I couldn't get the autumn blaze out of the hole, so I did the next best thing and planted the iris right next to it. So I got the iris in the ground and I'll get that autumn blaze out of that hole at some point. So I got all 3 irises planted down here between the trees along the squash mound. I think that's just going to add some uniformity going down this line, and it's going to be a nice color show before the squash actually gets put into the squash mound. It's not going to interfere with my actual plantings, so I think that's going to be a nice addition down here in the garden. And I have a few left over that I can give away. That's going to be all for this one. We got the irises transplanted and we finally got to be outside doing some planting, so it really feels good. The weather's starting to change now. We have a couple more freezing nights here, and then I think it's going to break off to where we get a good stretch to where I can do a lot of planting. There's a lot to do in the gardens this year, and I'm going to try and bring you along for as much of it as I can. If you want to follow along, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching. Now I'll get the door pup.